sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by today's Chevrolet, who invite you to see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America. Kodak Gold Film, show your true colors. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. Remember, know when to say when.
Well, welcome back to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where the rain has started again. It is 10-3. The Eagles leading the Cowboys 10-3. The only score, major score of that first half, the touchdown pass from Keith Byars, and Irv Cross of Byars, 4 for 4 in this department. He's thrown 4 passes, all of them for touchdowns this year.
Yeah, but the other 3 were to the left because he's left-handed. This one's on the right side, Tim. He runs the sweep to the right side, and the cornerback bites on it. The Eagles come up with a big play. Now, it's very important for him, obviously, to score early and quickly, because his Cowboy team, as the game progresses, is gaining momentum.
Well, being down only a touchdown, of course, they have to be very confident that they can make something happen here in the second half. The problem is they're without Troy Aikman, who was injured back in the first quarter, out with a separated shoulder. Well,
of course, another key injury for the Cowboys, Ken Norton, their fine young outside linebacker, went down with an ankle injury, so they're hobbled coming in here for the second half.
Now, I'm sure the question has been raised back in the Dallas area, what happens if Babe Laufenberg goes down? He is the only other quarterback in uniform today. Jane Novacek, the tight end, would be the emergency quarterback. And in a worst-case scenario for them, they would snap the ball directly to Emmitt Smith. Just let him make things happen from that role. And meanwhile, on the opening kickoff, Rod Harris brings it all the way over midfield into Dallas territory. The former Dallas Cowboy rubbing it into his old mates. 44-yard return.
Really an impressive kick return, Tim. The Cowboys on the kickoff team really don't get the ball down very deep. This is inside the 10-yard line, around a 9-yard line, where Harris picks this ball up, gets a good wall of blockers on the near sideline. Here just making a good individual move before he's finally brought down by Willis. But, you know, Harris is really pumped up, obviously, because he's playing against his ex-teammates. And that's a pretty good return, third quarter.
Second-year man from Texas A&M. Had been injured in Dallas, and they didn't really want to lose him. On first down, Anthony Toney gets about a yard for the Eagles to the 46-yard line of Dallas. Well, in that first half, the Eagles out rushing the Cowboys 100-38, and about even in passing yardage.
Well, a big key there again, though, the Cowboys want to establish something on the ground. They have a great back in Emmitt Smith. He wasn't able to do it in the first half, but again, the Eagle defense is the best in the league against the run.
And that one turnover by the Cowboys is when they were driving, and Laufenberg intercepted by Ozell near the goal line. Flags everywhere. The Eagles look like they moved early. On 2nd and 9.
Full start.
Ron Singletary, evidently, no, Ben Tamburello, number 61. And again, we apologize for the quality of the microphone worn by referee Gordon McCarter. Been a problem throughout the game. Tamburello getting some time at left guard for Mike Shadd. Shadd has a dislocated toe that he's recovering from. Tamburello has been filling in for him some the last 2 or 3 weeks. So it's 2nd down and 14 from the 49-yard line of Philadelphia, just underway in the second half. Toney, not much. Back near the original line of scrimmage. Lockhart and Del Rio wrap him up there.
Tim, one of the key matchups in this game is going to be left in Daniel Stubbs of the Dallas Cowboys against Reggie Singletary, number 68. And watch him work here. 68 Singletary told me one thing he has to do against Stubbs is keep his hands off of him. You know, keep him away. He does a pretty good job of shielding him off there on that particular pass protection. But Stubbs is an outstanding pass rusher, and Singletary's job is to try to keep him off his body.
So 3rd down and about 10, maybe closer to 11. Cunningham runs out of time, and he is hit. The ball is loose. Picked up by Toney, and he's dropped back inside the 30. Jesse Solomon drops Toney back there. Tolbert among those who had the initial pressure with Jones and Stubbs on Cunningham. A good defensive effort by Dallas.
Stubbs again, number 94, working against Reggie Singletary. Was the first man to show. He's got a lot of time here, but then the protection breaks down. Stubbs shows right away, makes a hit, and forces the ball out of there before Sherman can finally pick it up, for Toney to finally pick it up for the Eagles.
So Fiegels hits from the 20-yard line. A good kick. Taken by Derek Shepard. Gets away from Kenny Jackson. And out to the 27, maybe the 28-yard line, where he's hit by Chapura. And Dallas will have the ball for the first time. Now remember, the Cowboys, if they can win this game today, would be in the playoffs. That is their goal, obviously. They can also get some help with a loss and still make it in, or a victory next week. Laufenberg, 10 of 23 in the first half, 119 yards after coming in to relieve the injured Troy Aikman. Cunningham, 10 of 18 in the first half. First down, Dallas at the 29-yard line after a good defensive series for the Cowboys. Emmitt Smith gets a couple. Seth Joyner on the stop.
Seeing a different tone here already, Tim. The Cowboys opened the game with thinking pass early, even though they want to establish a run. Now in the third quarter, they opened the series with a running play. They want to get Emmitt Smith going, and he's the key, obviously, for them today. If he can get rolling on the running game, that opens up an entire Cowboy offense.
Second down, 8 yards to go. Nearly picked off, and now a flag down after the ball was released. Intended for Smith. Byron Evans had the coverage out there, and Ben Smith may be charged with roughing the passer.
Yeah, you had the two Smiths involved in this play. Emmitt Smith for the Dallas Cowboy going out as the intended receiver. Ball overthrown after he had fallen, and then Ben Smith committing a foul for the Eagles.
Foul, roughing the passer, number 26 defense, ball in the head. 15, first down.
Well, that's a silly penalty for this youngster to take, and he's been involved in a few of those this year.
Well, it is, particularly when he has so much time and so much room to ease up. You know, he left his feet. The ball was thrown really. He's about 2 or 3 strides away from Laufenberg when he continued after him. He could very well have avoided him, didn't, picked up a costly penalty.
So it's first down, Dallas at their own 46. Smith stopped by Jerome Brown after a gain of 2 or 3. Brown gets up with an injury of some kind. Takes himself out there for attention, looks like to his left hand. Houston and Cincinnati locked in a struggle there, 20-13, but Pittsburgh winning handily over Cleveland.
Brown's had some problems off and on during the course of the year, Tim, with shoulder problems and knee problems, and now they're working on his hand there. And as a matter of fact, the first time they played the Cowboys, they felt that he was really hampered by some shoulder and arm injuries.
2nd and 8 for the Cowboys. Laufenberg pumps once, and then it's hit as he tried to release it on his second move intended for Irvin, but he is dropped by Simmons and Joyner just as he got the ball away.
One thing he can't do against the Eagle defense, Tim, is pump and set up a second time, because the front four really comes after you. Buddy Ryan feels that pass rushing starts with the defensive line. You don't get it with linebackers or deep backs. You get it with down linemen. That time, number 96, Clyde Simmons, is the man who came in and did most of the damage to Laufenberg.
And the Eagles have Pitts in there with Simmons and White and company, trying to give Mike Pitts as much playing time as they can today, working him back in after his injury that has had him out much of the season. Laufenberg, and that one just too short, intended for Irvin. Not a good throw by the Babe. And the Cowboys will have to punt. 10:48 to go here in the third quarter. Still just a 7-point margin. Saxon to punt to Harris.
Get a funny feeling for the pace of this game, though, Tim. You know, started out at such a high pitch, and since the middle of the second quarter on, the things seem to kind of slow down. You sense that?
Well, yes, and I think Aikman being out of there has a lot to do with that, but it's turned into a defensive struggle. Saxon will run it, and he's got the first down. A daring move by the Cowboys, and it pays off with a first down in Eagles territory. to the 32-yard line.
Really a gutsy call and a heads-up play by Mike Saxon. It was a run all the way, fake punt, and saw it was well blocked up front. You can see he has a couple of key blocks up there, and Saxon scoots all the way upfield for the first down. Really a big play again for the Cowboys. See, it's well blocked up front. It's run all the way, no question about it. Gets a pretty good block outside. Looks like number 40, Bill Bates, gets the key block, springing Mike Saxon for the first down.
From the 32, play action. Laufenberg gets it away, incomplete. Intended, I believe, for Novacek, but way off the mark. Some pressure from Joyner may have hurried Laufenberg into unloading a little sooner than he wanted.
Looks like the Eagles have decided they're going to cover Novacek pretty well, but Laufenberg, again, standing in the pocket, gets hit once he throws the ball. Seth Joyner is the man who does the damage. Throwing the ball high, trying to hit Novacek, overthrowing it.
Laufenberg 0 for 3 so far in this second half.
You still have to believe, Tim, they have to work outside. Calvin Martin and Michael Irvin have been taken out of this offense. Babe Laufenberg has to work those wide receivers.
For Irvin, incomplete. Allen had good coverage on him. The ball was short. Irvin had no chance.
Excellent coverage. Eric Allen, Pro Bowl player for the Eagles, didn't make it this year, but has been in the Pro Bowl for the Eagles and is a good single coverage guy. And of course, they picked up another guy on the other side, the left corner, Ben Smith. The rookie is an excellent one-on-one man. So the Eagles corners do a great job in single coverage. They're pretty tough to beat.
Third down. Crowd getting into it here. Laufenberg calls a timeout. And we'll be back at Veterans Stadium with the Eagles on top 10-3.
Why does a man have to do what a man has to do?
2, 3, 4.
Try Bud Dry. Cold filtered for smooth draft taste. Dry brewed for no aftertaste. Refreshing proof that men still know what they're doing.
What's that fragrance you're wearing?
Make a statement without saying a word.
Every day that goes by, one of the highest mileage, lowest priced, and the best-selling of all V6 coupes is Chevy Beretta. Day by day, more people are winning with.
The heartbeat of America.
And now it's easy to win with a heartbeat.
Sigourney Weaver is on the verge of becoming an endangered species.
These people are dead, Burke!
Aliens, Thursday.
Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia. An aroused Eagles crowd wanting their defense to stop Dallas on 3rd and 10 from the Eagles' 32-yard line. For Kelvin Martin. Interception, no, yes. Ben Smith. Intended for Kelvin Martin, the second Eagles interception. Ben Smith came down with it.
This is really a heads-up play. Number 26, Ben Smith in the corner. Looks like it's 88, Michael Irvin, Tim, who's out there. And Irvin is a great receiver and going up for... No, you're right, 83. It is Kelvin Martin is a great receiver and jumping for the ball. What the Cowboys like to do is loft that pass up there and let the receiver adjust to it and get after it. Now look at the heat that Babe Laufenberg is under. He throws that ball, but he can hardly step up because that pocket collapsed around him.
Eagles first down. Tony. It's about 3 to the 23-yard line. So Ben Smith, who had picked up a costly penalty for roughing the passer, made up for it there. And that's kind of what Buddy Ryan expects of these young guys. He doesn't really complain about them taking the penalty, certainly not publicly. And he just lets them continue to play, waiting for them to make a play like Smith did. On second down, out to Tony. Tony has the first down, Eagles, over the 30-yard line. And now for another NFL update, let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Tim, Soldier Field in Chicago. Mike Tomczak has thrown his second touchdown pass of the day. 12 yards to James Thornton. 21-7 Bears. 5 minutes to play in the third quarter, Tim.
Buccaneers playoff hopes fading with that score by the Bears, who are already in, but playing with their second-string quarterback, Mike Tomczak. Troy Aikman injured here in the first quarter for the Cowboys, and Laufenberg has been struggling. Eagles first down at their own 31. Tony, as a flag flies, gets a couple in the middle. Holding signal against the Eagles on the play. Mike Shadd evidently charged with the holding. Well, more football ahead today. Coming up next, the NFL on CBS continues with game 2 of our doubleheader today. Some of you will see the New Orleans Saints clinging to a playoff hope, but a tough job ahead for them at San Francisco. And the Giants already in will be out at Phoenix. The Phoenix Cardinals, who had a nice little streak going, but then were dumped by Dallas last week. Cunningham a draw play this time. Thomas Sanders, and Sanders not too much, maybe 4 yards to the 25-yard line. It'll leave third and long for the Philadelphia Eagles. Buffalo has moved ahead of Miami 17-7. Frank Reich in the quarterback for the injured Kelly in that game, in a big one. Houston and Cincinnati have a real war going, and you just saw Chicago open their lead over Tampa Bay. Second down, about 18. The Cowboys, big defensive play here. Trying to keep the Eagles pinned in, and they deliver there. Pass intended for Keith Jackson, and Bill Bates breaks it up. So it's third and long.
Yeah. It's really a heads-up play, Tim, with Bill Bates. He's done this any number of times. A very aggressive player. Done a good job on special teams. But the nickelback comes in and does a good job. But here's something that you'd be surprised to see, though. The Eagles are ranked lower in total defense than the Cowboys.
Well, I think that's escaped the minds of a lot of football fans. Long pass intended for Williams, and it's picked up. Robert Williams for the Cowboys is downed at the 25-yard line, but he makes the grab. The pass intended for Calvin Williams, taken away by Robert Williams.
Great interception, Tim. That was simply a sprint to the football. I think Calvin Williams just took off on a fly pattern, and Robert Williams sensed it right away and just simply outsprinted him to the ball.
We'll be right back to Philadelphia.
Why do fools fall in love? Why do opposites attract? Why do gentlemen prefer blondes? Why do women have all the answers? Why? Ask why. Try. Cold filtered for smooth draft taste. Dry brewed for no aftertaste. Because if true love's not the answer, true refreshment must be.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, that's that new Chevy. It's an APV.
An AP who?
Yeah, it's a code. Top secret. We're talking adjustable composite panels. See that? Zero gravity modular seats.
Oh, yeah?
Resilient mollustic cup polyurea fenders. And it's got this...
Chevy Lumina APV. A very original way more people are winning with the heartbeat.
Biorhythms.
Biorhythm?
Yeah.
Now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
Freedom, freedom.
Lady Stetson.
Independence.
A declaration of independence. Wear it.
I'm Mike, Paxton brother nobody knows. We all shave with the same razor, slim twin disposable. It's got a narrow head. Like Mike. Yeah, so you can shave hard to reach places.
Men prefer it over good news. The slim twin disposable from Schick.
Dateline Louisville. Bluegrass battle. Kentucky against Louisville. The state just ain't big enough for both of them. Next Saturday.
Here's a play just before we went into commercial. Robert Williams, the defensive back, decides to cut in front of Calvin Williams and take the ball away. He becomes the receiver. It's really a great move on his part as the defensive back. Forget about the receiver. Go to the football. Took his route. Came up with a key interception.
So the Cowboys first down at their 25, down by 7. Emmitt Smith does not have much running room today. And with a good second effort there, winds up with a 5, maybe 6-yard gain. Randall Cunningham had a lot of time to throw the ball in that play. Thought he had it to Calvin Williams, and instead it was another Williams, and that does not make Randall happy. Wrong Williams.
Wrong Williams. Williams to Williams. This Williams is wearing a white shirt. Yeah. But again, Robert Williams made a great reaction to the ball, though. Once he realized it was a deep fly pattern, he simply left the receiver and ran to the football. Great reaction.
Emmitt Smith turned that into a 6-yard gain with a second effort. It's 2nd and 4. Smith trying to get to the marker was stopped short by a little bit. It'll be close. Should leave 3rd and less than a yard for the Cowboys. Who would have believed a 1-15 team a year ago, second year under Jimmy Johnson, the new regime in Dallas. Here they are, evidently headed to the playoffs. A victory today would absolutely ensure it, but looks like they might get there anyway, even with a loss today. But a long way to go in this game, and nothing being surrendered. White made the tackle, 3rd and a half yard. Smith, the ball is loose. Eagles say they have it on this slippery turf. The officials say Dallas has it. It is Dallas ball.
Really a terrific action by middle linebacker Byron Evans, though. When the ball is tossed out to Smith, to take a look at number 56, he's trailing this thing all the way. He's going to meet Smith right in the hole, and when he hits him, punches that ball out with his free hand. It's a free ball. Looked as though the Eagles had a chance to recover it, but the Cowboys come up with a key turnover, key recovery.
So frequently, an Eagle trying to pick the ball up there instead of just diving on it like Calvin Williams did back in the first half.
That's rule number 1. Simply recover the ball first.
So the Cowboys stay alive and have a first down at the 37. Laufenberg intended for Irvin, incomplete. Out of bounds. Ben Smith and Irvin, had the catch been made, it would have been out of bounds.
There's been an awful lot of bumping going on down there, too. Whether you call offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference, I don't know, but those two guys really locked into one another. But with Michael Irvin, he has great jumping ability, and he believes that his role in the Cowboy offense is to make big plays. And he lives for that moment. And he's getting up the field in a game like this, and it's so tight that one key play by Michael Irvin or Kelvin Martin can put Dallas right back in this thing in a hurry.
Well, they got to get the ball to these guys. Laufenberg is now 0 for 11. His last 11 passes without a completion. 0 for 6 in this second half. Emmitt Smith. He gains about 3 yards to the 40-yard line. Seth Joyner made the tackle there. Laufenberg, who has been around the league, San Diego, Washington, in his career as a backup quarterback. Terrific guy, good for morale. Troy Aikman told us yesterday he's been a lot of help to him as an experienced guy, spotting things and so on. But the fact is, Laufenberg has never been a starter except in stressful situations and has not played a lot as a backup. Even though he's been on teams, he hasn't seen a lot of action.
But he's been a real student of the game, Tim. He's very knowledgeable. He'll go into a game and not make any mental errors at all. Problem today is his arm isn't strong enough to get outside those wide receivers.
Lots of time this time, and it is nearly picked off by Frizzell. The ball was right to number 33, nowhere near the intended receiver, Agee.
It looked like that ball just sailed out of his hand. It looked like almost like a slip. It's one of those passes I could bring back. You see it kind of flutter out there and on the tail end of the ball and kind of zipped up in the air, and Frizzell had a freebie and dropped it.
So the Cowboys will have to punt. Saxon from his 25. Harris waiting for it at the Eagles 20 is driven back, and the ball bounces inside the 10. And the Cowboys down it right at the 1-foot line. That is Michael Brooks, reserve defensive back, number 44.
Even when the weather doesn't behave, Chevy Astro does. It offers the security of all-wheel drive and standard 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. The technology that's built into the Chevy Astro is designed to help you stay in control. What you put into Chevy Astro is up to you to control. More families are winning with
the heartbeat of America.
Now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
When you rinse first with Plax, normal everyday brushing takes on a whole new meaning. Plax, clinically proven to remove more plaque than brushing alone.
Some people think it's a great idea for you to buy a second-rate antifreeze. Not all antifreeze is the same. Nothing beats Presto. And that's something you might appreciate down the road.
The thirst for adventure is Michelob Dry. Refreshing beyond the ordinary. And once you've experienced the bold taste with no aftertaste, there is no going back.
Olympic Winterfest premieres, featuring the U.S. Open Professional Figure Skating Championships. Have yourself a Merry Christmas on CBS Sports. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah. Michael Brooks touches this ball here and recovers it for the Cowboys. Watch what he does, though. He has to keep both feet in the field of play, and is really, really close. One foot goes in the end zone, but then he comes back. When he comes back, he plants his right foot solidly parallel to the goal line and prevents the ball from going in. What a heads-up play.
59-yard punt it turns into. And it may be that the replay official is looking at that, although I don't think that comes under replay. But we are ready to resume action. And Gordon McCarter's microphone continues to be a problem for the fans here in the stadium and for our television viewers, the referee, Gordon McCarter. So it is going to be Eagles ball from about the 6-inch line.
Don't be surprised to see the Eagles unlaunch a rocket here, Tim. They've done it before, backed up in their own end zone. They like to go deep.
Cunningham, 12 of 22. Gives it to Tony, and he gets out to about the 3-yard line. It has been an inelegant contest to this point. Defense is playing strongly on both sides of the ball, but a long way from the scoring margins of a week ago. 41-10. The Cowboys beat Phoenix 31-0. The Eagles beat Green Bay. But they're two solid defensive teams making this a different kind of game so far today. Byars, and he gets about 3, maybe 4 yards. It'll leave third down out at the 6-yard line. James Washington had the coverage on him.
I tell you, Tim, if the Cowboy defense can hold the Eagles here, they're going to get that ball inside the 50-yard line on the punt. So this is, again, one of a number of series of big plays for Dallas, but their defense so far has answered the call in most situations.
Cunningham from the end zone. Tony, and it looks like he's got a first down. Anthony Tony.
We get a chance to see what Cunningham's looking at, just looking behind him as he comes back and rolls slightly to his right. He wants to really go upfield to one of his wide receivers. Can't find anybody. And Tony comes through on a check down where he kind of sneaks through the line of scrimmage. And Bill Bates is the man responsible for him. Brings him down, but the Eagles come up with a big first down.
Tony off the left tackle. Gets about 3 yards. Met by Jack Del Rio. Has played a solid game all day long. And while the microphone has been a problem on the referee McCarter today, it is apparent that they did review that punt that was kept out of the end zone neatly by Brooks, and he did indeed reestablish himself at the goal line. Checking our instant replay notes on the rulings, they did indeed look at that and made the rule. Cunningham intended for Byars. The fans want an interference penalty against James Washington. None forthcoming. Byars still complaining.
You can see why the fans are complaining. Number 41, Keith Byars, is out to receive this pass. Now here comes the defender, 37 Watt. He's all over him, but apparently there wasn't any contact made. Well, there was contact made. He came right across his shoulder, but the officials probably ruled that was an uncatchable ball. It was thrown so far away.
Leaves third down and 4. Calvin Williams in motion. Cunningham goes to Williams. He has a first down. Trying for more. Finally, the Eagles pull him down. The Cowboys pull him down. Hendricks and Robert Williams.
Calvin Williams and Fred Barnard, the two rookie wide receivers for the Eagles, have come a long way, Tim, and they've made a lot of key plays during the course of the season. Williams is a stocky kind of a receiver, slightly under 6 feet tall, 182, 3 pounds or so, and but strong enough to break tackles. You can see his reaction here as he comes upfield after making a catch. It takes 3 Cowboys to bring him down.
6 catches on the day for 76 yards. Calvin Williams. Nice fake by Cunningham, but he is buried anyway. Cowboy rush gets him back near the 15-yard line. 5 sacks today by Dallas.
5 sacks, Tim, and number 73, Danny Newland, the man we talked about before from Nebraska, was getting to the point where he's beginning to get a feel and sense of this Cowboy defense. The defensive coach has said, Danny, we want you to turn it loose. Go ahead and be aggressive. Now here number 73, you can see working upfield, beats his lineman, and Cunningham really has no place to go. Good effort by Danny Noonan. Here he comes right now. You see he has good leverage, so Cunningham can't roll outside of him. He's trying to roll, but he can't get outside of him because Noonan has good outside position.
Second down and very long back at the 15-yard line. Cunningham flushed again. And met heavily at the 30-yard line by Bill Bates. But check it, Isaac Holt, number 30.
Yeah, you have to wonder what Cunningham was thinking. He looked eyeball to eyeball with Holt and said, okay, I'm a quarterback and I weigh 203 pounds. You're only a defensive back, 198. I'm going to run over you. That's what it looks like to me, that he was going to put his shoulder down and try to knock him down. Of course, it was a standoff, and Holt made the tackle right there.
It leaves 3rd and 9. The Eagles at their own 30-yard line now. and time winding down third quarter. In fact, they won't get the play off. That is the end of the third quarter at Veterans Stadium with the score: the Eagles 10, the Cowboys 3.
Miami battles Texas, the Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic, New Year's Day.
Tom's, the premium choice.
Soggy first date, huh?
He's really funny, Linda.
Oh, you smell great.
I got a raise.
You pay.
This is going too well.
You've been dating 6 months.
7.
Let's stay in tonight.
Linda, I think he's the one.
David, pleasure meeting you. Clint Eastwood. Charlie Sheen.
That was your new partner.
You're kidding me. The Rookie.
Looks like you forgot to dry off behind your ears this morning.
He took a new kid
Beer, please.
and made a hero out of him. This is where the fun starts. The Rookie. Rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
It's Chevrolet Geo winter time, where everyone can win with the most fuel-efficient line of cars and trucks in America.
Sir, what's your favorite color?
Medium Quasar Blue Metallic.
Good guess. You can win with cash back or low financing on any Geo. Tracker, Storm, Prism. Miss, come here often?
I've never even bought a new car before.
Well, then you can win with a first-time buyer bonus on any Geo.
I love this Metro.
I can tell. Get to know Geo during wintertime at your Chevy Geo dealer.
Well, college basketball is underway, and next Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, CBS Sports will present the intrastate rivalry between Kentucky and Louisville. Then at 3:30 Eastern, coverage of the NFL on CBS continues with the NFL Today, followed by Philadelphia at Phoenix next Saturday beginning at 1 Eastern here on CBS. And you can see by that shot that the rain is now coming down more heavily here in the second half. We're into the fourth quarter, just about to begin the final period.
What this
regulation time.
Tim, what this does, I think it kind of evens things up for the Cowboys. The Eagles' passing game will be affected drastically by this rain, and will help the Cowboys in the running game, I think.
And the Cowboys have played awfully well defensively with pressure like that. He gets it off to Byars, however, and Byars will wind up with about a 5-yard gain, but it'll be fourth down as Horton and Bates tie up the big halfback Keith Byars.
Boy, Bill Bates is playing an outstanding game today. Keith Byars is one of the most versatile, most productive all-purpose backs in all of pro football, but Bill Bates has been in his hip pocket all day.
So Fiegels, standing at his 20, will punt it for the Eagles. Not a good punt off the side of his foot, but it takes an Eagles bounce. Backing up Shepard. And it goes all the way to the 10-yard line. How about that? So we'll return to Veterans Stadium after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
Behind sealed doors at NASA is a familiar sight. The impeccable picture of a large-screen Sony Trinitron XBR television. You'll also find reliable Sony TVs working hard at the Disney MGM studios. And you'll find them playing hard at the NFL. After all, if Sony TVs live up to professional standards, why would you live with anything else? The Sony Trinitron XBR TV, the screen behind the scenes.
Leaving Cratchit? Off to buy my new Honda, Mr. Humbug. Scrooge? Be crazy buying a new Honda just after Christmas. Perhaps it would be crazy not to, Ebenezer.
Now, during your Eastern Mass Honda dealers after Christmas sale, you can buy the #1 selling car in the USA, Honda Accord, or Hondas with gas mileage ratings up to 52 miles per gallon at greatly reduced prices.
Great deals, eh, Ebenezer? Who the dickens are you, anyway?
This holiday season, every time you use the American Express card, you could win a trip
anywhere you choose to go. Because American Express is giving away $10,000 dream weekends, one a day, every day, for the rest of the year. So if you're ready for a chance to win the weekend of your dreams, just use your imagination and the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Happy holidays from 7 People.
Well, there's a brave soul who hung that banner here at Veterans Stadium. Maybe it was Santa himself. I don't know who else would have the nerve. Veterans Stadium, a gangrene defense. Surprised they allowed that to happen. First down from the 10-yard line. Emmitt Smith plows his way for nearly 6. And that punt by Fiegels, it started out as a baddie, turned into a goodie. 55 yards down to the 10-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Emmitt Smith has improved that with what turns into about a 7-yard gain. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Eagles, and the National Football League is prohibited. So it's 2nd and a long 5. And a lot of early action there. Flags fly. Laufenberg came back without the ball. So the 5 yards gained by Smith goes back to the 10-yard line, or very near it, on the illegal procedure. Cincinnati and Houston continue their seesaw battle, 27-20. Houston can clinch a playoff spot with a victory there, and a loss by Seattle tonight against Denver. 2nd and 9. Laufenberg steps away from the pressure. A flag is down as Laufenberg is dropped at the 15-yard line by Joyner and Allen, and the penalty is against Dallas.
Holding, number 16 offense, after defense,
Holding the penalty against the Cowboys. We're at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. A rainy, warm day here, and a defensive battle on the field. The Eagles lead it 10-3 in the 4th quarter. Troy Aikman went down to injury in the first period. Dave Laufenberg has struggled, but the Dallas defense has kept them in it. Laufenberg to Alexander Wright. They'll be short of the first down by about 4 yards. And Laufenberg now 1 of 13, his last 13.
The key here, though, is he got the ball away quickly, Tim. He's feeling a lot of pressure from the Eagle front four. This time he has time to deliver and step up in the pocket. Hits Alexander Wright on the sideline pattern. Wright is a guy who has blistering speed. If he can ever get him to the point where he can exercise that speed and have the Babe loft the deep one, he's the kind of a guy who can really hurt that Eagle defense.
First completion for Laufenberg, however, after 12 misses in a row. And they were misses, not drops. Little reverse here, and the Eagles waiting for it. Simmons buries Kelvin Martin at the 8.
Clyde Simmons played that reverse perfectly. As a defensive end, one of his primary responsibilities is to try to contain, keep everybody inside of him. When Flo went away, he stayed at home, came upfield, looked back inside, and lo and behold, the ball carrier came right back to him. Top flight play.
Rod Harris awaiting Saxon's punt. He'll kick it from the end zone. Not a good punt. A Cowboy bounce, bobbled by Harris. And Harris tackled at the 44-yard line by Vincent Smith. We'll be back in a moment.
Okay, everybody, listen up.
27 million Americans are illiterate. Albert Davis was one of them.
My dear family, for all these years, I have wanted to write about what you mean to me, but I could not write.
Look for this Coors Light display. Learn how you can help. Teach someone to read.
Today, I can read.
It's Chevrolet Geo winter time, where everyone can win with the trucks more people are switching to. Sir, how many doors does this 4-door Chevy S10 Blazer have?
4.
Close enough. You can win with cashback or low financing. And what's your favorite pickup?
Chevy half-ton.
It's America's favorite, too. And you can win with cashback on Chevy pickups, Astros, Suburbans.
Wrap it up. I'll take it.
You got it. Better get trucking to your Chevy Geo dealer during winter time.
What is the image of a rebel? These are the images of a rebel. Canon's revolutionary new autofocus EOS Rebel. So easy to use, you can stop taking snapshots and start taking photographs. Rebel, rebel.
Image is everything.
EOS Rebel from Canon. So advanced, it's simple.
This NFL game summary is sponsored by Canon, photographic consultant to the National Football League.
A 10-3 game at Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia on top, and of course Troy Aikman out with an injury, and Laufenberg has struggled to say the least. But Herb Cross, the Cowboys, despite the statistics working against them, are still in it. Only 7 points down. A big play by Emmitt Smith, a defensive play, whatever.
They're one play away, primarily because their defense is playing so well. They've had to play top-flight defense all season long, and today they've just been terrific.
Well, they get pressure on Cunningham there, and it's broken up, intended for Calvin Williams. Isaac Holt. And again, the Cowboy pass rush puts some heat on Randall Cunningham. Danny Stubbs has been in that backfield all day long today.
Well, Stubbs is real quick, Tim. He gets off the line so quickly. He's into the offensive tackle, and that's one of the things Reggie Singletary was telling me about. He's like a cat out there. Once the ball is snapped, he's into you so fast. So he's going to try like crazy today to try to keep him off of his body.
2nd and 10. Sanders, he's hit immediately by Jeffcoat. Loss on the play of a couple of yards.
You're talking about a Jim Jeffcoat playing with a cast on one hand. He's got a broken bone in his right hand and will come in on run situations and play that run real well. He's done that for years, and that time crashing inside made a key play.
Cowboys happy with the youngsters they have ready to step in and take over from these veterans. Tony Tolbert, the second-year man from Texas El Paso. Jimmy Jones, the rookie from Miami, at tackle. Way down in 12. Cunningham whoops out there, now takes off, but he is caught from behind. Good reaction. Tolbert is there, number 92, and Horton, the safety, number 20. And the Eagles will have to punt.
Well, I tell you, but the guy, Manny Hendricks, is the one who really caused Cunningham to alter his course. Here he rolls out of there, finds daylight outfield. Now watch number 45 make contact here, and all that does is make him be conscious of the fact that there are people around. Then the defense comes in and makes a stop.
Eagles has to chase the snap. Gets a good kick away. Shepard will let that one bounce, and it goes in for a touchback. Good effort by Feagles. And we'll be back at Veterans Stadium in a moment.
160 horses. That's what Chevy S10 packs into the biggest V6 engine ever put in a compact pickup. Enough power to help switch more truck owners to Chevy last year than to any other truck. The move to Chevy is becoming a stampede. More people are winning with the heartbeat of America. Now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
Today, more people than ever are getting a kick out of this hot shot.
Interstate batteries hit the road fast with all the cranking power and reserve energy you need for even the worst curves in the weather. And Interstate has twice as many dealers than any other battery company in America, so you're never left stranded. For an Interstate battery dealer near you,
All you got to do, call 1-800-CRANK-IT. Get the power that goes on and on and on, yeah.
The bustle of the season can wear everybody down.
You need a place, an oasis, to bring yourself around.
Break from the pace, take 5 from the race. You know the one, McDonald's.
It's Holiday Shopper Survival Days at McDonald's. Take a break where the welcome's warm, the food's hot, and the service is fast.
McDonald's for food, folks, and fun.
It's Holiday Shopper Survival Days at McDonald's.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by McDonald's. You know the one. It's McDonald's for food, folks, and fun. Interstate Batteries now with over 180,000 dealers across the U.S. and Canada. And by Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
Well, season's greetings to all of you watching NFL football on CBS today. Tim Ryan with Irv Cross, and there's a man who does not have the Christmas spirit at the moment. Jimmy Johnson, the Cowboys coach, his team down 10-3, have not been able to move the ball offensively since Troy Aikman went left with an injury. Their defense has played superlatively, and they only trail by 7. First down at their own 20, a 53-yard punt by Beagles. Offenberg out the right side to Agee, and a gain of about 5.
Tim, I really believe if the Cowboys want to really get back in this game, they're only one play away from it. They have to get that ball to Emmitt Smith as much as they possibly can. And I think you can do that with obviously running the ball. You can do it with screens. You can do it with the draw plays. But let him handle the football and get up in a position where he can work one-on-one on some of those defenders and run for big yardage. I mean, he's the kind of back who could break a game wide open on just one play.
Well, the weather has improved somewhat again. It's been on and off rain showers since the opening kickoff. Right now, things are dry, except on the field itself. Offenberg quickly out to Smith, and it's incomplete. Did not have complete control, made a nice effort to hold on, but was hit immediately by Terry Hogue, number 34.
Hogue was assigned one-on-one coverage on Smith coming out of the backfield. The Eagles had a blitz coverage going, and Hogue had the first back out that way. And as soon as Smith stepped up, he stepped up, and they met at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete pass, heads-up play.
Cowboys send Darrell Johnson, number 48, into the backfield on 3rd down. And 3 wide receivers, Wright, Martin, and Irvin. Play action, the pass picked off by Allen. Touchdown. Third interception of the day. Eric Allen had this all the way, Irv.
His second interception of the year for him, Tim, though. He's in good position to cover this ball. First of all, he has a receiver under good coverage, Michael Irvin. He's facing the quarterback, comes up and takes that ball away. The ball wasn't really thrown that hard or that sharply, so it gave him plenty of time to come back and take it away. Excellent defensive coverage by Eric Allen.
35-yard return for the score, and the Eagles widen their lead. Ruzek for the point after. It is good. We'll be back at Veterans Stadium with the Eagles on top. 17-3. May have been a flag on the point after play. There was, and it's a tripping signal indicated against the Eagles. So they're going to have to do it over again.
Number 52 on the kicking team. 3-yard penalty. Repeat the try.
Eagles frantically trying to get his special teams unit back on the field for a second try for the point after. Eric Allen, a 35-yard interception return for a touchdown. As soon as Laufenberg unleashed that ball in the direction of Irvin, Allen was breaking on it, Irv. He just had it picked all the way.
Now, see, what you can do if you're playing the corner there on the short side of the field is you can play the sideline. And the other place in the field, you have to go with the receiver step for step. But when you're on the sideline, you can let him go because he can't go that far. So Allen really was about 3 yards inside of Irvin when that ball arrived, picked it off.
Ruzek will try it from the 20-yard line now. And he hits that one as well. And then some. Way up into the seats. So the Eagles now have a 17-3 lead here. 8:33 to go.
AT&T, the right choice.
Rick Upchurch of the Broncos is one of only 2 players ever to gain over 3,000 yards in punt returns. Who holds the record for punt return yards in a career? Leroy Irvin of the Rams, Greg Pruitt of the Raiders, or Billy Johnson of the Oilers? Which would you choose?
Our bike business had never been better. So one day we just looked at each other and knew it was time to go public.
Your itinerary gives us an accurate picture of your capital needs. When are we going to hear?
It takes time. Off to New York, guys.
Billy White Shoes Johnson holds the all-time NFL record for most punt return yards. If you said Johnson, you made the right choice.
There's a moment in time, maybe once in your life, when you feel that you're ready to fly.
And that time is now, with the power of fuel-injected multi-valve engines, the security of anti-lock braking systems, the agility of four-wheel independent suspensions. This is advanced Pontiac technology for the 90s. And from now till January 7th, special factory incentives make all this Pontiac technology even more affordable.
On the Pontiac Express, we
Take a look at that pass interception before we went into commercial. You can see why. Number 99, Jerome Brown, playing over the right guard, left guard 68, Crawford Kerr, gets pretty good pressure on the quarterback. Here he comes upfield, beats Kerr right away by getting inside of him, and Babe Laufenberg had to throw in a hurry. Really couldn't see where that ball was going, and the Eagles wound up with an interception.
3 interceptions of Laufenberg today since he came in to replace the injured Troy Aikman, and that one the most costly by far. 17-3 lead as Ruzek will kick it off. The deep men are Wright and Shepard for the Cowboys. And the Cowboys need big plays now. And it goes out of bounds at the 6-yard line. So see whether they take it at the 35 here or not. Looks like they're going to. It'll be first down, Cowboys. Cowboys from their own 35. Laufenberg 12 of 34, 133 yards and 3 interceptions. They've just not been able to get it done in relief of Aikman against this aggressive Eagles defense. Laufenberg steps up well, a flag down. He gets it to Kelvin Martin, a gain of about 8 with a flag on the play.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 46, defense, 15, tacked onto the dead ball spot, first down.
Izell Jenkins charged with unnecessary roughness. That was apparently away from the ball, and it turns into a first down and then some here into Eagles territory. The ball will be spotted at the 46-yard line of Philadelphia. Now make it the 43-yard line. First down, Cowboys at the 43-yard line of Philadelphia. 8:02 to go, regulation time. Laufenberg under pressure again, and it's going to be Eric Allen picking it off once more inside the 10. Intended for Irvin. Reggie White put the hit on Laufenberg.
Almost the same result as the last interception, taking great pressure up front again. Clyde Simmons, number 96, the man who shows the top of your screen and put the heat on along with Reggie White. And Eric Allen has excellent position here inside the receiver. The ball slightly underthrown, makes it an easy interception. Pressure again, 96 keeping on the pocket, 92 Reggie White cleaning up. And Babe Laufenberg thrown another interception.
4 interceptions of Laufenberg today, 2 of them by this man, Eric Allen. Eagles from the 10-yard line on first down. 7:51 remaining regulation time. Tony gets about 2 yards. For an NFL update, let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
Tim, earlier today we raised the question about the 49ers resting and protecting Joe Montana. Vern Lundquist has late word from San Francisco.
Joe Montana has been bothered by a slight groin strain much of the week. He woke up this morning, it wasn't feeling good. He has decided not to suit up for today's game. Now, he's not on the inactive list. He could play if necessary. But with quarterbacks dropping throughout the league, the 49ers are taking the safe route. Steve Young will start and play against the Saints.
Well, thank you, Vern. Bundled up out there. Looks like it's colder in California by far than it is here in Philadelphia. Mild weather in the east. Second down, 3. Byars breaks loose for a first down to the 22-yard line. And now here's some rough stuff again as the Bounty Bowl anticipation with the frustration here of these Cowboys starting to flare up again. Washington made the hit on Byars, and they're doing a little pushing and shoving underneath. Center David Alexander came up to help out, and he gets into it as well. And it looks like he's complaining about being poked in the eye.
Yeah, he said that somebody grabbed his face mask and was gesturing towards his eye, as though somebody might have done that while he was under the pile there. You can see that Byars is down on the ground after having been tackled. And there goes all the activity with David Alexander. He's coming in here now to help out his teammate. This game is rapidly developing into a brawl.
First down. And a pickup of about 3 by Anthony Tony. And flags fly in that pile. Well, there was a lot of talk, a lot of hype involving the rivalry between these two teams. It goes back to the strike year between Buddy Ryan and Tom Landry, the Cowboys, and continued with Jimmy Johnson in his rookie season a year ago. Heated up again this week as the reporters, of course, in both cities get after these coaches at the beginning of the week before these games, these matchups, and get them stirred up by asking all of those tough questions.
First, number 56, defense, 15 yards, first down.
Eugene Lockhart gets that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Now, don't forget, we've got more football ahead here today, and you saw Vern Lundquist talking about Joe Montana not starting at home against New Orleans today. Some of you will be watching that game. Others will see the Giants out at Phoenix. And, of course, Phil Simms out of action with an injury for the Giants. They are in the playoffs. Phoenix is out after a nice little run that was stopped last week by these Dallas Cowboys. But Tim Rosenbaugh and the rest of those Cardinals under Joe Bugle are going to be a force in the very near future. They're a team definitely on the rise, like these Cowboys who came so far this year. So it's first down with the penalty at the 40-yard line. Eagles have the ball and the lead. Byars batters his way to the 45-yard line, a pickup of 5, close to 6. Under the 6-minute mark we go. The Eagles, if they win here today and next week, will clinch a home field advantage. And Randall Cunningham comes out. Jim McMahon comes in.
I think you might be partially responsible for that substitution, Tim. We better tell people what the story is all about. In our pregame show, you said something about McMahon, about how much or how little he might play today. And
well, I was kidding, Jim, that Jesse Solomon, who had predicted victory for the Cowboys, might not see any more playing time than Jim would. Well, McMahon is in there. Handing it off to Byars, and no gain on the play. McMahon has become a popular guy here in Philadelphia with very little playing time. He's shown a terrific attitude. He's a colorful character, and in the beginning of the season was running out and picking up the tee after kickoffs in the home games here at Veterans Stadium, and that endeared him to the hearts of the Eagles fans. People shouldn't forget what a great quarterback he has been in his own right. With the Super Bowl champion Bears, he provides quite a backup. Unlike, unfortunately, Babe Laufenberg for the Cowboys, not quite in the same category as a Jim McMahon.
We can win with a Jim McMahon. He has a lot of experience and still a very effective quarterback. Here, let's sweep here with Byars.
Byars picks up the first down with an 11-yard run off the left side.
When you see a play like that develop, Tim, particularly late in the game where an offense gets outside of a defense, it means to me the defense is beginning to tire a little bit. It's very difficult to sweep good defensive teams because you get such good pursuit from your linebackers and good containment by your outside, by your cornerbacks. And when the corner breaks down and it's that soft, at this stage in the game, you have to feel that maybe that defense is beginning to sag a little. Well, you can see right now, number 37, Washington was injured on the play.
Washington hurt at the downfield at the 40-yard line. Washington playing for the injured Vince Albritton is on injured reserve, and they had a big game last week against Phoenix. 2 interceptions, 4 tackles, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. He was a one-man gang on defense in the secondary against the Cardinals a week ago. Just short of the first down. It's 4th and a football right at midfield. McMahon sneaks for it. First down, Eagles. 3:53 still to play, and the Eagles keep the ball. Running behind the center, Alexander.
Talk about how popular McMahon is here with the fans and the players. He does some great impersonations too. He does a Reggie White impersonation where he walks just like him. I tell you, when you see him do it, he looks just like him. And he does a Jack Nicholson impersonation. The guys call him Jack, and he turns around and gives you that stare like Jack Nicholson did in the Joker. And gosh, he's funny.
He and Reggie White are teammates on a bowling team that the Eagles have. Nearly 40 of their players participate in that Eagles bowling league. Byars this time is stuffed in the backfield. Good response by the Cowboys defensively. Horton coming up from the safety position, and Jeffcoat, the defensive end. McMahon, wearing that visor to protect his eyes, has had an eye problem for many, many years. Lots of times people see him wearing those sunglasses and they think that's all for affectation. He never says anything about it not being an affectation because he's that kind of a fun guy. Yeah. But really it's a problem with light that bothers Jim's eyes, and so he wears sunglasses frequently.
Yeah, when he was a kid, he stuck a fork in his eye and damaged his eye, and he had some difficulty with bright lights.
2nd and 12. Tony has a big hole. Anthony Tony running hard and well inside the 35 of Dallas. Hendricks finally got him. -17-yard gain by Tony, and the Philadelphia Eagles with a 17-3 lead. They led early in the game after Troy Aikman went down with an injury. The Eagles have just slowly taken the game away from the Dallas Cowboys as Babe Laufenberg unable to get any kind of offense going. And despite a good defensive effort, the Eagles are now in control.
Pontiac Grand Am. The best-selling compact in America can now be leased for only $199 a month. The 1991 Grand Am LE, driving excitement made easy, with an automatic transmission, air conditioning, stereo cassette, and no down payment. This may be the best time to experience the thrill of a 91 Grand Am for yourself. But don't wait too long. This is a limited offer, and at only $199 a month, they'll be moving fast.
Everywhere you look, there's a reason to use Visine. That's why there are now 4 different Visines to get the red out and provide just the relief you need, no matter what causes the irritation. So now, look no further than Visine.
Iron Cologne for men.
When the only thing better than making it to the top is making it to the bottom.
It's the right feel now.
Because you know looking good isn't just for summer.
It's the right feel now.
Because you know winter's the time to turn up the heat. So call for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
It's the right feel now.
Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, a sports topic is paramount. The dream is to go to college on a basketball scholarship and then make it to the pros. The reality for most is a trip right back to where they started from. Hear more about that on 60 Minutes tonight, followed by Murder, She Wrote, and the CBS Sunday movie, Always Remember I Love You. That's all ahead after our doubleheader action here on CBS this afternoon. More NFL football, followed by our primetime lineup. First down, Eagles. Jim McMahon at quarterback in relief of Randall Cunningham. Have it at the 35, and it is Anthony Toney again getting about 6 more as the Cowboys are sagging badly now, trailing 17-3 in under 2 minutes to go. An unfortunate day for these Cowboys, who came in here with high expectations, determined to beat the Eagles in Philadelphia to prove that they could beat a playoff caliber team, and only to lose Troy Aikman very early in the football game to a shoulder separation, and Babe Laufenberg simply couldn't generate the same kind of offense. Second down and a long 4 for the Eagles. Thomas Sanders gets a couple. It'll leave third and about 4. So the Philadelphia Eagles playing for a home field advantage, encouraged by last night's loss by the Washington Redskins to Indianapolis, have a 17-3 lead with less than a minute to go. If they win here and next week at Phoenix, they will have the home field advantage when the playoff begins. Dallas still in the playoff picture despite a loss here today. They play at Atlanta next week. And still are in the driver's seat in the NFC for the final wild card spot. On third down, Cowboys stuffed that one. Toney, no gain, and that's going to do it here with 23 seconds and counting down. And the Eagles, who said that they would beat the Cowboys somehow, some way, have done it again. 2 for 2 this season by a point in Dallas and by a count of 17-3 here in Philadelphia.
Tim, you have to admire the effort the Cowboy defense put forward, though. They're losing their quarterback early in the game. They came back, kept their team in it, and they can be proud of their effort even though they went down today.
So Buddy Ryan, who all indications are will return, as he says, if he chooses to next year, has himself another victory over the Cowboys and heads into the playoffs with a realistic chance at the home field if they can win next week in Phoenix. And so for Irv Cross, this is Tim Ryan saying so long from Veterans Stadium, where the final score, the Eagles 17, the Cowboys 3. Coming up next, more coverage of the NFL on CBS. We continue with Game 2 of our doubleheader. Some of you will see the New Orleans Saints at San Francisco. Others will be watching the Giants at Phoenix. Our coverage continues after this word from your local station. You have been watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.